Right now at 4, you're looking live inside the courtroom in Fulton County, Georgia. A divorce lawyer connected to the district attorney and Trump prosecutor Fani Willis is taking the stand again.
This is all part of the argument brought up by Trump's lawyers that fellow prosecutor Nathan Wade was only hired onto the case against the former president because of a romantic relationship between him and Willis.
Terrence Bradley, an ex-law partner and divorce attorney for Wade, has already taken the stand, but previously invoked attorney-client privilege. But now he is being forced back in front of a judge. The order for Bradley to return to the stand marks a major development in Trump's push to disqualify Willis and toss out the election racketeering charges in Georgia. It's one of 4 criminal indictments the former president faces right now. He has pleaded not guilty to all of the charges. And here's a snippet of just some of what's happened today.
And have you testified already today to the sum total of your knowledge of the relationship that is outside the scope of the privilege according to the court's ruling?
Can you ask that again? I'm sorry, I didn't understand it.
Referring to what you understand to be the information that is not privileged, have you testified to the sum total of that information?
I think I have, yes. I think I've testified to that, yes.
Mr. Bradley, speculation is kind of a weaselly lawyer word. Let's speak truth here. You're under oath.
Argumentative at this point, Your Honor. Not asking relevant questions.
Mr. Bradley.
Let's find a question, Mr. Rice.
Mr. Bradley, when you were communicating different details of the relationship between Miss Willis and Mr. Wade to Mrs. Merchant, did you lie to her about any of those details?
Objection. Asked and answered twice.
I don't think he's answered it yet.
I don't recall ever whether any of it was a lie or not.
Let's go ahead and bring in Queen City News Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes.
And so, Khalif, he cited attorney-client privilege the first time. Explain that.
This is vital for the attorney-client relationship. If you're going to come to me and talk about something and I'm supposed to protect it, you want to know that I can't run out and tell someone else randomly. And so it protects that conversation, but it has some parameters. It has to be a conversation between you and your attorney with the expectation for legal advice or legal services. So the judge at the very beginning started by saying, I listened to what Wade and Bradley said in their last week's testimony, and I don't believe for a specific small amount of time that instance is covered by the attorney-client privilege. That's the only reason we're having this conversation today. That's the only reason he's back testifying, is because even though he tried to invoke the privilege, the judge has to ensure that they've covered the threshold. And he said for this conversation regarding Wade and Willis's relationship, that wouldn't be in furtherance of some legal advice. So that is not protected by the privilege. And now you have to answer these questions.
We know that Trump's team here wants to damage the prosecution and discredit them. But how will Bradley's testimony here impact this case at all?
I don't think that it will impact the overall case. But what I can say is, let me lay out a couple things. He's not a good witness at all. He's not clear in his answers. He does a lot of stuttering and stepping and trying to find an answer. Typically, you want a witness that's going to be able to answer the question directly and move on. So he's really trying to find the right answer, which oftentimes seems like it's someone trying to find a lie, which is not good. But if you can do a deeper dive, the attorneys in this courtroom are doing a delicate dance. If you can't play the game, you will not be able to play it if you don't know the rules. The rules of evidence control. These attorneys are dancing back and forth. If you're watching, you see a lot of objections. You see the judge trying to figure out, do I want to sustain, meaning allow that objection to be heard, or do I want to overrule it and allow the question to come in? They're doing a lot of back and forth. There's been some jabs as well. All of this is theatrics, though. What I can tell you at the end of the day, the theatrics in here still does not mean that the prosecution against the former president has any validity. Even if there was a relationship between the two, which they have not established yet, it still doesn't mean that the jury, the grand jury that found that there was overwhelming evidence to press a case against the former president is not there. And so while I think this is great entertainment, I think it's must-see TV, even for non-lawyers, I think that this is at the very minimum frivolous. But yes, Bradley's testimony today does not help. It definitely stokes the flames of anyone that says that this looks like this investigation has some issues.
Well, and as you mentioned, a lot of back and forth in the courtroom, and Fani herself has been very vocal about how out there she thinks this case is. And let's listen to what she said herself earlier this month.
You've been intrusive into people's personal lives. You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial.
Well, there you go. Do you think, though, the Trump team gets their way in all this in the end?
I do not. And it's a very weird place to be in. Ashley Merchant is the individual that's the first attorney that's been asking the questions, the only female on the defense side, which is in the prosecuting side, if you may, for today. In this side, she was representing and out there campaigning for Nathan Wade when he was running for judge. She was friends with most of these individuals that now she's asking questions to. And so as the attorney asking the questions, it's been very weird because typically you would be asking, what did someone else tell you? But she's saying, what did you tell me? So it always really makes for a weird dialogue and a weird dilemma. But the other attorneys are really hitting home with him with making sure his standard, his time frame is consistent. Even if he turns out to be an inconsistent witness, which I think he is, I still don't think the judge would say that Fani Willis needs to remove herself from this case, even with his inconsistent, incoherent testimony.
All right, well, we'll see how the rest of this plays out, Khalif. Thank you.